Hey guys, today we're going to talk about behind the cult leader and the followers and the fall. Don't forget, if you're the replay gang, you can skip past this and go straight to the show. Let's get somebody to come on in up in here. All right, guys. Hey guys, this is going to be a quickie, right? This going to be a quickie. What's up, Nene? No, we're going to come back tonight. But I just want to do a quickie because I like to put the information out there, right? I'm all about the information. So it's only going to be audio, right? Okay. And we're going to start this now. And everybody else is going to have to do the replay. Gang, gang, gang. Good as they is. Right? So, here we go. These are the three guests that are there. And they will be talking about the cults because this, again, is a serious matter, right? We like to keep focusing on just the players there. No, this is real life. It can happen to anybody. My job is to keep the information out there so you could be aware. We don't talk up to the head, so we can't talk no more to the ceiling about the players up in there. But we gotta take this serious, right? I mean, you don't have to, but their parents didn't take it serious. Their friends and families didn't take it serious, right? And then the people who's watching it, their parents ain't take it serious yet because you didn't see a lot of people that was in the cult. It's a lot of people that Nature Boy influenced. So you please, I can't tell you enough. Take this serious, and my job is bringing information. So let's see what they have to say, right? Just some info. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Cult leader you probably didn't even know existed, but he attracted people from all over the country. Eligio Bishop, known as Nature Boy, has been sentenced to life in prison in Georgia. Prosecutors say he raped a former group member as she tried to escape and then posted revenge porn online. Nature Boy led the group called Carbon Nation, which encouraged being naked, pooping on trees, requiring followers to give Nature Boy their money, and allowing verbal abuse like this. That was a good one. Slap a at the sense like stop wasting our time making about you. It's about me. Rub my legs and my toes and suck on my toes. And you can say it's abuse, but please leave. Now, many of us have always been intrigued by a person who can manipulate so many people with just words. Joining us to talk about it tonight, Todd Smith, CEO of Regal Media, and therapist Dr. Jasmine Boone and Dr. Angela Jones. So, Todd, what do we know about this guy so far? He was found guilty. He is spending life in prison now as a result of raping one member and then using revenge porn. So what do we know about him?
Well, basically, he started his organization around 2015, 2016. Some of the oldest members said they joined in 2016. And he kind of convinced people that America was just messed up. Capitalism, racism. We need to live off the grid. We need to leave this place. We don't need to be consumed with all of the technology. We can live in nature and just be one and be, spiritually together. And it started off okay. Some of the members joined, went overseas, and they said, they had to live outside in tents, but they, ate food from the berries and stuff like that. Started off great, and he had extracurricular activities for certain people. Like one of the first members to leave said she was an audio engineer. He had a recording studio there, so they could do certain things that they enjoyed, but then he slowly started to change, like all manipulative people. He started abusing his girlfriend, and that's why she left. He hit his first girlfriend, and she left. But he convinced a lot of people just to give money. Some people gave $300,000. Some people gave land. And with cult leaders, I've noticed it always starts off great, and they always find something to get at a person's heart, whether it's religious, whether it's political, whether it's racial, and they start gradually getting abusive and stuff like that. So a lot of the members, some members died. One member couldn't take her heart medicine because he was against that. She died. People got STDs because, they were raped and forced to have sex. So it just got out of hand, and we see where it's at right now. He's in jail for life.
And give me a little bit about his background, Alicia.
One of the members who left said he was very abused as a child. His parents died.
Sorry, where he came from, because we heard he was a stripper.
He was a stripper and stuff like that. Just a bad guy, you know what I mean? And he had people, barber, just all over the place, but he had people believing that he was the second coming. Mm-hmm. He was Christ. He was a Messiah type figure. But if you look at his behavior, you showed the video of him saying how he has sex around his kids. What part of that relates to any God? You know what I mean? But somehow you can manipulate people into believing that. And like back to his history, like one of the people said that they don't even blame him because they believe that a lot of the stuff that he went through as a child is manifesting now. They say he's like a hurt child. He's 40 years old, but his parents died young. He grew up rough, and he's projecting some of this stuff. So that power is something that came from that wanting to have that power came from just a turbulent.
Y'all notice they keep giving us different ages. Do anybody know how old Nature Boy is? Do anybody know how old Nature Boy is? I believe he should be 42. He's supposed to be born in 81. He should be turning 43 in April. He should, as so they say. We don't know. Right? Right. So in April, hey, that girl, Shay. So he should be turning 43 in April. Next month, he'll be 43. But they keep it on the thing when they oh yeah, somebody please send his wife some tissues. Don't forget we are doing a tissue fund to send all his wives some tissues, send Serenity some tissues, and everybody else that's crying. We're doing a Kleenex fund, right? But they never, for some reason, it should be documented how old the man is. I don't know why. They keep, everywhere you go, they get it mixed up. But again, this is audio. They're going to have, these are specialists that are talking, right? And then we're going to come back later and have another open panel. But I just want, this is going to be a short video. I just need for y'all to get the information. We got to keep putting that information out there, right? Because information answers a lot of questions. It takes away from what we think, right? It takes away from what we think and how we feel. This is information. Let's go.
Had that power came from just a turbulent upbringing.
And Dr. Jones, do you ever think he was sincere in the beginning and then
No.
just escalated and
No.
morphed into something more sinister? What do you think in reading and researching him?
I mean, there's a possibility there was some sincerity at the beginning. I think the ideas that he had about living off of the land, living off of the ground, there's nothing wrong with those things. Like saying you want to be more natural, being aware of what you put in your body, maybe even disconnecting from some of the societal norms in regards to politics and preservatives in our food. So the idea was a good idea, but putting it in the hands of someone who has past trauma and has past hurt that's unresolved, putting it in the hands of someone who's possibly a narcissist or has anti-social personality disorder, that's what happens. It's like putting a gun and you put in a gun in the wrong hands. It depends on whose hands you put it in.
And does someone like this, and I can only think about Jim Jones and the Guyana tragedy back in the 70s where Jim Jones, the pastor, convinced like 1,000 black people to move from Compton to the jungles of Guyana. Does he get that mentality where he feels like he's God at some point?
I mean, yeah.
And I'm talking about Bishop now.
Well, there is this sense of superiority that he has. He likely already had it. Now, as far as like why it happened and where it stemmed from past pain and past trauma, that's something we may find out later. But there is this sense of superiority. And once you are able to see that this idea, I can move people into the direction that I want to, and I can convince this person to follow me. It's like building a Legos, but of ego. And he's realizing like, oh, wow. They're actually listening. So they're doing what I want them to do.
You're creating a monster.
And so it's this building up something that's already dark inside of him. It's outwardly showing.
And what do you call that type of psychosis or psyche that we're dealing with when you have an individual who may manipulate so many people and be good at it?
Antisocial personality disorder. These people are charismatic. They can charm a room, so you're not easy to be like, oh, they have antisocial personality disorder. They're very manipulative. They really do not care. They generally do not care about anybody else's emotions. They're not really even connected with their own emotions. It's the power, it's the manipulation, seeing that I can move you just by my words or just by my beliefs, and you're actually doing it. It's feeding into that. I mean,
now, you may not care about their emotions and how they feel, but you become a great actor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, just like Todd was saying, like, they started in a place where it was a good idea, but then now you're listening to these videos where he's like saying about the color of their skin, and then they're talking about having sex in front of his son while the son is breastfeeding on the mother. And it's like, I think he's just adding his own ideas, seeing if it sticks, and once he sees that it sticks and people are following it, he goes on to the next thing.
We're going to continue with you, Dr. Boone, in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. As we said, we'll continue this discussion.
Don't nobody owe you, Malia. You got to work in real life. You're not that beautiful that it's gonna bag on you. You're not that bad. You're just not. I'm being all the way honest with you, and I'm gonna bag on you the way I'm doing. I'm gonna take care of you like you gonna work at Walmart. You gonna be some late night, or you might get a relationship with a broke, but ain't nobody about to bag on you. You're not that bad, Malia.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Malia, you made the news.
How do you say you're Ike Turner without...
Malaya, you done made the news. And you didn't make the news just for being in the cult. You made the news for somebody, the queen. The queen saying you're not a bad bee. You're not that good looking. And she says, I know. Out of all the clips that they picked that one. I keep telling you, I don't care what nobody say. Even though hopefully she can realize, or hopefully he's in his new home now. He's in his new bed. He is officially out of jail. He is officially now in prison. It could be that part, right? I told you. They have to come to us because they had to grab whomever, any of our CC videos, because we the ones that, and it's sad they don't say, thanks to the CCs, thanks to the content creators. Like, it's funny that they don't have to cite their source, but we have to cite our source. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. I mean, they probably gave a little couple of pocket change to the people that they maybe got it from, but still, you can't count. Let's see the CC names, like, and maybe they had to get permission. I don't know, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's thug. But I tell Malaya, you done made the news, girl. You made the headlines, not for just being the queen. They said the queen ain't pretty, right? Out of all the ones to pick, they picked that one, right? They had a lot to pick from, but they picked the one. Now the whole world knows the queen is not pretty, right? Queen Malaya, they don't. But anywho, let's go. Malaya, you done made the news, girl, for not being the queen, not being pretty, and saying, I know. My.
How do you say you're Ike Turner without saying you're Ike Turner? Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. That was just some of the verbal vitriol followers of the Carbon Nation cult chose to endure. Their leader, Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Natureboy, is now in prison for life after being accused of raping a former member. Tonight, we continue our discussion about the mentality behind cults. Todd Smith, CEO of Regal Media, and therapist Dr. Jasmine Boone and Dr. Angela Jones are back. Dr. Boone, when you see someone taking verbal abuse like that, and we want to talk about the followers now.
Yeah.
What does it take for an individual to be attracted to one like Eligio Bishop, and then not only be attracted, but to stay after being verbally abused and physically abused and sexually abused?
So, Todd mentioned this earlier. We have to keep in mind that he gained a lot of his followers because they were watching his content on YouTube. So they were already aligning with a lot of the topics he was talking about, the living pure, living off the land. So they already had that alignment. Now, who's to say what their childhood looked like, if they're looking for father figures, if they're looking for what their meaning in life, what their purpose is, but they're attracted to, like, he is certain about what he believes. He is confident about what he believes, and that becomes the initial attraction. If I'm a person who's like, God, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what my meaning is, and this guy's like, oh, I can help you. You're like, oh, can you? Because there's a confidence that he has. So what a cult leader often does, he's going to get you away from anybody who can talk some sense into you.
Isolate you.
Isolate you as soon as possible from anybody, a mom, a sister, anyone who's going to be able to talk sense into you. He's going to get you away from them, right? So once he has you in their crypts and they've gone off grid, that's when we start seeing the manipulation and the change. It's a slow burn, right? It's a slow burn. So once you're so deep in, now as a cult member, there's this cognitive dissonance that shows up. And that is like, I can't believe I got myself in this. And so now I got to stay because, like, this is too much. It is a disconnect. It is a misalignment of what I once believed and what's really going on. And so now there's this shame, there's this embarrassment, there's this like, I can't go back now. And so they're staying much, much longer than they would, on top of the fact that they're probably scared, right? He doesn't seem to be the most kind leader, right? He's been abusive. He's probably made examples out of other cult members. So there's a lot of different layers to this as to why they would stay. But how they come in the first place, it's slow. It's a slow manipulation. There's similarities, there's kindness, you're feeling this void, right? And then boom, here's the change.
And just like Angela, Dr. Jones, individuals like Charles Manson, even when he was put in prison, the ties were never cut with the members.
Right.
And so they remain loyal even after they go to prison, even after the system says you're guilty, even after they hear from the victim. So, I mean, can you even break those ties unless he decides to break those ties?
I mean, some of the ties won't be broken because you have to remember, while you're in a cult, they're also training you about the system. So this is what they're going to say about me. This is what they're going to do to me. And so you're also not only trained about the theories and the philosophies of the cult, you're also being trained to know that, like, the system is the problem. So the fact that he's in court and he got sentenced to life and rape, he probably already talked to them about that. Like, this is what they're going to portray.
He did.
They're going to take the meaning of our love and how we represent our love and call it rape. You know, so they are already.
He sure enough did. And if you watch the show, well, not the show, but if you watch the memory, that, what will you do if I be gone? And yeah, he was preparing them. So they thinking that all this is, you know what? I love myself. But let me tell you something. Please put the S back here. I love my, because that was always said anyway. He didn't come up with I love myself. We always tell people to love yourself. Yes, he prepared them, right? He prepared them. I think after this, because this is almost over, I'm gonna drop the link, right? And if anybody remember, we want to stay on this topic. Do not go off the topic. We're gonna talk about other. On the next one, I want to get into Musa. But I just wanted to put this here. I need to put this on my other one too. Right? And so feel free, because this is like maybe 10 more minutes. Then we're going to do a little brief commentary. And that would be it. She said, get the likes up. She said, Bush babies, get the likes up. Bush babies, get the like. Get the likes. How you like. Actually, this is almost finished. If somebody want to talk about how they feel about this, you're more than welcome. The link is there.
You know, so they already been trained for this possibility that he is going to get arrested, because he is now victimized right now. The cult people are looking at him and they're like, poor him. Our leader is being, prosecuted by the system. And so this has already been like rehearsed into It's already been massaged into them, like they say, like a slow burn. You don't go into something and they say, okay, this is what's going to happen. It's slowly taught to you that the system is going to go against me. So be ready.
All right, we'll be back with more Factor. Don't go anywhere. We'll pick up the discussion on the other side of the break. We'll continue talking about cult leader Eliseo Bishop out of Georgia, who has been sentenced to life in prison. Stay with us here on The Factor. To The Factor Uncensored, we continue our discussion about the psychology behind cults. The members of the Carbon Nation were subjected to a few different conditions over the years, including polygamy and refraining from bathing. The leader, Natureboy, will spend the rest of his life behind bars, convicted this week, sentenced this week. He was recently sentenced for that rape. And Todd Smith, CEO of Regal's Media, therapist Dr. Jasmine Boone and Dr. Angela Jones are both back here. Now, one of the things he was always preaching, we're one race, we're one people, and all of a sudden now it's I'm the black man and they're out to get me. And it initially started with a young lady, white female from Canada, whose family called authorities and put a lot of pressure on him. And it's a multicultural group.
Right.
But now he's saying it's about him being a black man. Your thoughts on that, guys?
Right. The video, it's actually a video of him staying in the front, and he has all the multicultural people behind him saying we're one color, we're all different shades of brown. And then the fact that he was able to just take what our philosophy is of this cult, flip it to use it to, for his advantage. To me, it's almost like a red flag to the cult members. Like, hello, like he wavers, but it's just a red flag, even just for people who were even thinking about joining this cult. Like, okay, you don't really have a strong stance in regards to that we're all one. You're just using that to get more members into there so you can get more people to manipulate, to get their money, and to do whatever
it's all manipulation, and that's typical of a cult leader. It is as it is convenient and favorable for me, right? So it's favorable for me to believe that we're all one color right now, but as soon as that is no longer convenient for me, it's racism, it's this, it's that. So you'll always notice with the cult leader, I am the center, I am the God complex holder, right? And so that's what we're seeing. He's shifting because now that's not working in my favor. It's a racism issue.
And we're talking about motives, money, sex,
power,
and control.
Yes, yes.
And when we say money, guys, PPP loans, he convinced many people to give their loans because he started before the pandemic.
Right.
Todd, go ahead.
And that's in every cult that I've ever studied, money is always the root of a lot. That's obviously sex as well, but to convince people to give their life savings, one person, like I said earlier, one person gave $300,000. Some people gave land. We see it in all walks of life. It's just not sex, but we see it in politics. I know we're not talking about politics. When you convince somebody, woe is me, they're out to get me. We see that all the time. But people are I think people have a need for a messiah from people who aren't the messiah. You see what I'm saying? We need somebody to save us from the problems of the world. So you start believing that type of rhetoric, and we gravitate towards charismatic people, not realizing what their message is. Like you said, you keep switching up. You see that in all walks of life. One minute there's no racism, or it's not about race. The next minute it is. So we see that in all walks of life because we want to believe that one person is going to correct all the wrongs of the world and it's going to change our life. No, it's not going to happen like that. I have a friend that would always say, when we talk about religious cults, a pastor's my pastor, they're not my master. You see what I'm saying? Like the minute you try to dictate what I do, and you want to control my money, that's when I back up. I have to leave with you? No, I'm not leaving anywhere either. So people have to realize these are human beings. Stop looking for God in human beings and start realizing that nothing is going to change your life but you. And nothing's going to change the world.
And really, the last time when I was researching this, I found there are a lot of current active cults that are out there.
Absolutely.
And we see a proliferation of them as a result of social media.
Right.
And so people have to be careful who they follow, right, Dr. Jones?
There's a new platform. I mean, social media is everyone's new platform. And, cults is not only about a religious belief. It can be about a therapeutic belief, just an ideology. It could be about
a lifestyle.
It could be a lifestyle. So it doesn't always have to be surrounded around like a god or a religion. It could just be we have common thoughts and we come together, but then what happens is the definition of the cult is different. It's about analyzing that one person rather than an actual, a belief or ideology.
All right. We want to thank you all for joining us on the Factor Uncensored Night. Fascinating story out of Georgia.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Like I said, my job is to bring you guys the information. Characters such as Dr. Bishop was in part used to over time prevent the members and the public from being able to distinguish truth from the lies. That was also a way to humiliate them because every time he was Dr. Bishop, that was that was a humiliation that he was doing with them because every time he was Dr. Bishop, he'll sit up there and talk to them, right? Have them tell they problems, what's going on, and they way to humiliate. Dr. Bishop was just a non-aggressive nature voice, but still doing the same humiliation, right? So it wasn't like it was a character. He tried to fake it like a character, but in all reality, they were still being humiliated. Like one time he was doing the Dr. Bishop and Zoka was in and out, in and out, in and out. All she could do was hold on to I don't know if she had a flower or something in her hand. I don't remember. What's up, LaShawn? The Dawn. What's up, baby? How's you doing? Yes, there's nothing but tons and tons and tons of humiliation rituals, right? And a lot of them rituals he did before when it was I'm going to say true back then because we're speaking upon the back then and not the now. So all he did when he got to Puerto Rico was put a hat on and he was bringing up the same exact things, but trying to act like, so he made it seem like all of them was, he didn't even have that, he only had that character actually, but he still was the same old scary guy. He still was the same old scary guy. Hmm. And now we're gonna. I told you I'm doing get some money together so we could send them some Kleenex. And again, even if they do decide to stay by to him, because he's as he speaks to them, he's still giving them hopes. He's still giving them dreams. He's still saying the appeal is coming. So they even if they stay there, hope they're not getting. They're gonna still get abused and everything. But maybe the abuse will stop. Remember, being in a cult, it's not illegal. Them following him is not illegal. Them refusing to let him go out of their minds is not illegal. What's illegal is when they do crimes. That's illegal, right? So besides them still like beating up themselves, eventually that will stop. Eventually that was he gonna how long you gonna be in jail saying what she doing, what they doing? Well, slap that one, beat them up, put them in the closet, right? Eventually that will stop. So they could sit there and stay together. And I think I said that before. They just might stay together. Because Aya, in her mind, I told you that from the day Aya got there, Aya wants to be the last woman standing. She took all of that to be the last woman standing, right? Queen Malaya gonna realize she ain't no queen, but even if they still choose to serve her as a queen, that is fine. That is not illegal. Their appeal is coming, but it surely won't be with their guard. Mm-hmm. Yep. So again, I just wanted to give you some quick quick. And don't forget, I'm going to show you. He has been transferred. He has been transferred. So he is officially today an inmate. Officially an inmate today. Yes, it is. Yes, he is, baby. So I'm going to catch you guys later on tonight. Right? We'll catch y'all tonight. We're going to talk about truth. Yes, we is. We're going to talk about truth. True. I mean, not true. My bad. Musa. Move. Sir. Mm-hmm. Oh, happy days, baby. I'll be back. Hey, Mister. Put your hands up. Hey. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.